I am Dyflin in the Dyflin campaign on legendary difficulty from Thrones of Britannia. We are at the end of the summer of 883 AD. You may remember we have taken Veisafjordr, and a Veisafjordr army has landed on Ireland to take their land back, and also a solitary Veisafjordr general is roaming free. There was an army there from the faction next to us. They've done something very sneaky, you'll find out. And once again we have been blackmailed by Liot. Hanging, beheading should be an option. No. We have a general there in that village Ferna, and this is the main Veisafjordr army.
Our foes shall fall.
We can see some of the units. They seem to have some good units, a lot of light units. Here's our King Barter. He's in the village Ross at the moment. So there is, as you can see, there is a solitary Veisafjordr general who's penetrated somehow into Ireland. He's moving north. And we have one general here of our own in Nass. His name is Rognvald. He is the son of a king, his second son. Oh no, that's the governor. And he can potentially build something, potentially not.
We pledge your service.
Back to our King Barter. Gets 50% discount on upkeep. So if it wasn't for that, this army would cost not 1200 gold, but 2400 gold upkeep.
We'll see this through.
Here's Sigfrodr, his brother, and heir.
We'll see this through. Let's go.
This is Finkel, is a relatively new general. And so, what to do now? Let's move on to the next game turn. There's a whole lot we can do. So here's that faction to the north of us. Here's that solitary Veisafjordr general, and He's gone through foreign lands and then invaded back our lands, and he's taken that village, clawing more. Very sneaky. He definitely has a lot of range.
Thunder and glory.
And so the winter has set in. This is the winter of 883 AD. Our governor Sigtrygr has gained a follower, so we'll give him a forager. So that hopefully will provide some food, a little bit of food to our faction.
The sea awaits. Slow speed for docking.
Veisafjordr is now in Tinbeamore, and he can potentially attack that enemy general Cloyne Moore if he is strong enough. And it looks like he isn't for some reason. I guess the enemy general has an infantry unit with him, and so he has more men. Or better men. What's the deal? We have more men. So for some reason, because he's maybe in a fortified position, he seems to have the advantage. Potentially. I don't know why he has such a big advantage, considering he has half the men. We have another general in now, so he could come to our aid.
My warriors are ready.
Okay, and let's have a look at the tech. We just finished offensive tactics, if I remember correctly. We can go for one of the other techs there. Troop organization sounds like a good option. We have a few spearmen.
We'll pledge our service.
And we can now attack this Veisafjordr army.
Thunder and glory.
Let's go for it. So, it looks like we have a huge advantage. The time for showdown with Veisafjordr has come. It's quite clear we have superiority in axemen. They also have some berserkers themselves. That's interesting. Both sides have berserkers. But they have a lot more levy spearmen, and we have a lot more axemen. We also have more cavalry. So that's a relatively easy battle. They have more foot skirmishers. They have an advantage in that department. As usual, the AI is strong in foot skirmishers. They have only 2 cavalry units. We have 4 or 3.5. It is raining, it is the winter, it is snowing, sorry, it is the winter. Well, go ahead, we'll fight in the snow, why not? So, I'm going to do this battle also from above, like a lot of YouTubers do, with all the flags and everything, just fighting it on the fly, no stopping and no pretty views. Actually, I will include a few pretty views. I'll zoom in now and then, but I'll do this from the save, and I'll intersperse those scenes into the battle. But what you see here, you witness all the moves once again. All the good moves and all the bad moves. You'll witness everything on the fly.
Axemen!
So what's the plan? The plan is to put some heavy units at the forefront, and these will attack the enemy. And then behind them there will be the lighter units, the various skirmishers, the various spearmen, I put the Berserkers there on reserve, I'll put the lighter axemen in reserve, and the cavalry will stay on the flanks to deter attacks by enemy cavalry, and maybe put enemy cavalry under pressure. So there are those double-handed axemen. They have no armor, so put them at the back so they don't get attacked by archers, and we can use them as lighter units to move around. There are the spearmen on the flanks. We have some heavy spearmen and some light spearmen. Generals should be somewhere in the center.
Axemen! 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 Our foes will fall!
So what you see in the series of video clips on the Dyflin campaign is everything. Everything that happened. Nothing is missing. All the campaign moves, all the battle moves, everything I did to finish this campaign, which I'm hoping to finish in 4 hours. I'm hoping to finish in 4 hours a short legendary campaign. So let's group these people, we'll lock their formation. So default will be walk, so they can walk towards the enemy, don't run and exhaust themselves.
Can be devastating. Speed it up. Keep your cavalry in reserve, and then hammer the flank or rear of the enemy.
Oh, that was very useful information for one of the generals. So here is our army in the sunset. Looks like the atmosphere is different during the battle than in the save. The atmosphere in the save is different. So these zoom in views without the UI are from the save. In any case, we're slowly walking towards our enemy, who have set up as far back as possible to make us waste our time. Here are more views as our army walks through the trees. So our men are going through the woods. Once again, the view from above during the actual gameplay. Here's our enemy. They've set up in a nice long linear formation with their missile units behind. They only have 2 cavalry units, 1 on each flank. We're moving up our cavalry. Definitely our flanks are secure because we have more cavalry. Over here we have a heavy unit and some archers, javelin cavalry. That javelin cavalry there is just a newly recruited unit, so they only have 19 men. And here is the enemy army. And they are in a big hurry to rearrange themselves. Now they've rearranged themselves and they're waiting for our attack.
Pick your targets, man.
Okay, it looks like the archers are within range, or army is within range of their archers. So they're moving about. Our hidden units have been discovered. Oh dear. How did this happen? So we have both a hill advantage and and the tree advantage. So the hill advantage, if there is any fighting, is going to help in melee, and the trees stop some of the arrows, enemy arrows, so both are good. So moving up our cavalry over here, the enemy has some javeliners. We don't have that many javeliners here. We have that half depleted unit or just newly recruited unit. We also have some heavy cavalry. It looks like our heavy cavalry or medium heavy is being hit by missiles. They may have lost horsemen, possibly, I'm not sure. Possibly not. Not yet, but they have been hit by enemy missiles from some unit. Not sure which unit is shooting missiles at this cavalry because they're all moving about, but they managed to kill a couple of horsemen. 4 horsemen, that's annoying. Okay, so the enemy has formed its lines. There is a Javcav unit, an enemy Javcav unit on this side, so our cover is moving in their direction. And the enemy Javcav moves in our direction, now it retreats, and unfortunately I wasn't paying attention at this point. And there was an enemy unit there somehow just lingering, wandering about, and we bumped into that unit with our cavalry while I wasn't paying attention. Because of those cowardly Veisafjordr mounted javelin men who decided to flee at the side of our cavalry. Okay, so in the meantime here now, the main battle has begun. We are attacking with our infantry. Their infantry tried to become disorganized in order to disorganize also our line. That's a very good trick from the eye. In the meantime, we have also attacked their cavalry on the left flank. We have 2 cavalry units there. They're javelin cavalry units. They are not, for some reason, they are not throwing their javelins. I don't know why. They've attacked the enemy unit in melee, and they're not using their javelins. We have some infantry going to help them out. They aren't losing any men.
See, they flee before our might.
Okay, so in the center we have the advantage. On the right, the enemy sent a couple of units to just attack one of our units on the right. So there is a bit of a stalemate. On the left, it looks like there's a stalemate. But whatever the enemy had in the center, those units are crumbling. We are putting units to fill in the gaps. Various reserve units we have. There's the enemy general. He's on the head of a very small unit. He's on the left. He's joined that melee there. We have 3 units and the enemy has 5 units there. So it looks like they may have the numerical advantage over here. We have few men, but I am fairly sure we can very soon send reinforcements because overall we have an equal number of units. So we already routed one of the units either in the center or on this side. There are some units at the back that are being routed. The fighting is fierce. And here's the fighting with our cavalry. So we have attacked one of the cavalry units with 2 of our own cavalry units, plus 2 units of spearmen, and the enemy cavalry is still standing its ground. That's quite amazing. Okay, one of our units was routed, but overall we're doing well. So this is the side where we're weak, on the left. And so you can see one of our units there is about to break. It's flickering. That's the unit I think that the commentator said it was routed. Our men run from the enemy. Okay, so we only have 2 units there on the left, so that's our weak side. The enemy has 5 units. Unfortunately, or fortunately, the enemy general has moved away. You can see the enemy general in the middle. He's being chased by our men. And seeing the enemy general retreat, all our men now run after him. The enemy units became disorganized. Our king Veisafjordr has rallied our men. He blew his horn. The fighting on the right is a stalemate. We're very strong in the center. On the right and left, the enemy has numerical superiority. Although we are addressing this issue, we're bringing in people from other places where we were winning. That enemy cavalry unit on the left is still alive. I don't know how they managed that. Okay, the battle is turning in our favor. Our Javcav are not throwing any javelins for some reason. They are on skirmish mode, but I don't know if it is the snow or what it is. They are not throwing their javelins. On the left, despite having the numerical disadvantage, we routed the enemy. On the right, the enemy still has numerical superiority. They're even sending more units on our right. They're all fighting just a single unit of our own. Everywhere else, the enemy lines are crumbling.
Ready for war. End them. Battle's done. Bring death.
They just send all the units in good order. They send them here on the right. Now they're about to become encircled. And pretty much everywhere else we won the battle. The enemy general is still alive. He is here at the center.
The enemy have rallied their units.
And somehow I was busy chasing the other units. I ignored the enemy general. But we have some missile units, so hopefully they are shooting at him. The fighting here on the right has been resolved. The presence of our king helped turn the battle in our favor. And the enemy general has been broken and is retreating. The only unit in good order, I think, at this point is that enemy Javcav. They are still fighting. They are being chased by almost all our cavalry. They were attacked by 2 units of spearmen. They're still alive, and our Javcav just won't throw their javelins. The enemy general is dead.
Men have turned tail and run. The cowards.
Okay, one of our units has been broken, unfortunately. Okay, and we won this battle. So we can chase the enemy retreating units.
You proved your worth, man! Berserkers! Crush them!
Oh, Berserkers survived.
Hardman!
Going back to chess, you know how the rook moves, and as I already said, the rook in the loose chess pieces is a berserker, a shield biter. He's biting his shield, and he is in castle formation.
Against the warriors of the sea.
And now I understand why the rook moves in this way. So you can move with the rook right across the chessboard in one move. And, understanding that the origin of a rook is the shield biter, the berserker, now I understand what it really represents. Now this guy just went hell for leather, just run and run and run, and went berserk. So the rook is a berserker. Makes sense. So here's our king. You may recognize this view from the screenshot I use on the videos, as a kind of title page. And so here are the bodies of the fallen friend and 4, mostly foe. So our enemy has been defeated. And they're on the run.
Cavalry! Attack!
One last man is running for his life. Okay, he's dead. There must be someone somewhere else because the battle has not ended. Okay, it has ended now. So we lost 771 men. Just the cavalry did not perform. I mean, they couldn't kill the enemy cavalry. They weren't throwing their javelins. And had they finished the enemy cavalry on time, then they would have charged the rear of the enemy. But they were taking forever to defeat the enemy cavalry. So the enemy had 1595 casualties, so about twice as many. That's good. But I definitely lost more men than I was hoping. So that wasn't great. Okay, let's continue. That was the least successful battle so far. Still a victory, but it wasn't what I was hoping for. So we can take on the warriors. They're also Vikings, and this will help replenish our ranks. The enemy had 1 unit surviving. We didn't lose any units. The enemy king has been slain in battle. And here is
Enemy blood will flow.
Finkel, that other general. He's come to help us out, and we can try and destroy that fleeing Veisafjordr army. We have clear superiority here. We can auto-resolve. We also have the support of the garrison, if you notice on the left. It's a very bad location for our enemy to flee to. Our enemy has been murdered. And we lost 1 man.
My skills are growing.
And we've gained some tribute. Get out there. As you can see, we have 32 tribute, we have 44 exploration points, and we have 1683 slaves. And Barter, our king, has gained a follower. He's got a decent quartermaster, he's got a champion. What he needs is a bard and a forager at this point, I think. Of course, the quartermaster would always be helpful if he could become leveled up, but nonetheless. So he's gone into Veisafjord to retrain his units, and the other guy can go and guard Ross, this general here, Finkel. And we'll have to see what we can do about this other Veisafjord general there in that village in Cloyne. So that was the end of the winter of 883. We have some money to burn, so let's see what we can build. There's this possibility of this long, what was it? Long fort or something? Shore fortress, okay. Let's build that shore fortress, whatever that is. And we still have a little bit of money left. We're a little bit low on food, but we have one full stack. Here's Castleton, here's Liot. Liot has bought himself the latest chessboard with some very nice chess pieces from the Isle of Lewis, with the money he made from blackmailing our king. And we can appoint a governor in Veisafjordr. Who can be the governor of Veisafjordr? Here's a nice guy, Helm Kell. Well, my guess is that means in Old Norse, a man with a helmet, judging from the German meaning of the word. So, that was episode number 4. We're halfway through the campaign. Thank you for watching.